Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another great video by Falto. Today I'm going to be reviewing Torna The Golden Country. Now, this game is actually a DLC for the main game Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and story-wise it acts as a prequel which takes place about 500 years before the main game story. Now, I don't have much else to say other than that for this intro, so let's get started with this review. Story. Now, just like the main game was amazing, the story in Torna is also amazing, and here's a quick intro to it. So, Malos is destroying the world one by one, and we have our two protagonists. Their names are Jin and Laura. And one day they meet Adam and Mithra. Now, Adam and Mithra, what their goal is to stop Malos from destroying the world. Now, Adam asked them to join them so they can help out and they can stop Malos all together. And Jin and Laura, they agree, and so they join in the party. Now, along the way, we also meet Hugo and Bridget, and those two guys, they also join in the party and to stop Malos. So that was a quick intro to the story, and now let's get into some more details. The first thing I like to point out is that this game, there's many callbacks to the main game, and that's something which put a smile on my face. And to those who've played the main game and then you're playing this game, it'll probably put a smile on your face as well. For example, in the main game, we had a scene where Mithra, she sleepwalks onto Rex's bed, and when she wakes up, she gets like confused and blames Rex for coming onto her bed when she's in fact in his bed, and the whole scene is pretty hilarious.
Ah! You! How did you... What are you doing in my bed?
Wait!
Ah! Get out! Interloper! Monster!
Wait a minute, would you? Ow! You're the one in my room. The guy's room, see?
Huh? I can't believe it. I did it again. I am such an idiot.
Is this what they call sleepwalking?
You were staring.
Huh?
Pervert.
And in Torna, we had a very similar scene, except she comes onto Milton's bed instead of, Rex, because Rex isn't alive at this point. And unfortunately, they did not show us the scene, but we do hear the scene because we see it from Jin and Laura's perspective, which are in like another room at the moment. So we hear them react to it, and it's pretty funny as well. So let's talk about Jin for a second. So I don't know if it's just me, but I did not like Jin's character in Torna. And the main reason that is because I felt like he was a little bit too bland and a little bit too like robotic in terms of personality in this game. And you see, in the main game, I could understand that because Laura dies, and and because of that, like he becomes this sad boy type person. However, he still acts as this kind of sad boy type person, even though he's kind of in his prime. Like, Laura's alive, like he has friends, and that he considers a family. And yeah, I mean, he should be a little bit more lively, and I wish that if they had shown that in his character in Torna, that could have shown like an arc that, hey, look, he's at his prime right now, and then in the main game, he's at one of his, I don't know if it's the lowest point of his life, but it certainly is nowhere near the heights that it was back in Torna. Now, let's talk about Adam. Now, in the main game, we were told that Adam is this very noble prince person who's a great hero as well.
In Mithra's memories, I knew him only very briefly before I went to sleep. But Mithra can't remember a more genuine, courageous person. She had never met a more wonderful man.
But what we actually got was a person who is a prince and is a hero-ish, but he's certainly more goofy than we thought he would be.
I really like you two.
Now, I'm actually okay with this because this makes Adam seem very similar to Rex in some ways, which is what they were probably going for because, like they make his eyes similar and even his face is a little bit similar to Rex. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that, they wanted to make Adam be more like acting like Rex as well, kind of how Rex would act if he was older. Now, let's talk about everyone's favorite waifu, Mithra. Now, in this game, everyone just straight up roasts the heck out of her, and I don't exactly know why. It is kind of funny, however, from a story perspective, it does make sense because, you see, this is why she's being mean to Rex at first.
Mithra, why are you blushing?
Shut up!
Because of this, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this is one of the reasons, is because, she doesn't want to, you know, get close and or get hurt again. So she's just like, you know what, Rex, I don't want to, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, do anything. I'm just gonna push you away from me. Now let's get into Hugo. Now on him, I don't have a lot to say. I just have to say one thing, and that is that he acts similar to how Niall and Morag would act in the main game. And that makes complete sense because he is their ancestor, you know? Now, the only thing I wish that Torna had, as for a story-wise, is that I wish it was longer because this is a little bit too short. Coming from the main game, yeah, the story-wise is certainly a lot smaller. It's like the size of one chapter in the main game, which, I mean, it is DLC, so, you know, so it makes sense, but had it been a little bit longer, I think it would have been more fleshed out and a little bit more refined. However, for the time that we had, they said a lot, and I have to give props for them for, you know, saying such a good story in such short time. So I'm going to be giving the story category a 9 out of 10. And I'm taking 1 point off because of Jin's character and him being bland. On top of that, Jin is one of the protagonists, so yeah, I think it's fair that I take off at least 1 point for the protagonist, you know, being portrayed not in the best way. Alright, that's all I had to say for story, and now let's move on to gameplay. Gameplay. Now the gameplay is very similar to the main game where basically your character is going to be auto-attacking and you only press like a button to like do specials, arts, or if you want to swap blades or drivers. But just like the main game, there's also more to it, like there's combos, there's chain attacks, there's elemental orbs, etc. And some people say that the combat system in this game is way better than the main game. However, I don't really agree with that, and here's why. So my biggest gripe is that in the main game, you could easily just switch between blades by pressing a button and that's it. However, in this game, they made it more complex because you can't, you know, switch between any blade that you want. You have to make sure that the blade is in the lead and then you can switch to it. Because if it's not in the lead, you know, like you're gonna switch to the blade which is in the front and then you can swap their positions, which, you know, that takes more time. And in this game, like when you're trying to do a combo finish and, you know, yeah, that can really be annoying, and, you know, which, I mean, I don't know why they made it more complex than what it needed to be, you know. I mean, like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, guys. However, I will say that I did prefer one part of the combat in this game rather than the main game, and it is the elemental orbs. Because in the main game, to create an elemental orb, you have to do a specific set of blade combos, and basically on the third stage, it would create an orb for that element which you used. However, in this game, you would still do a blade combo, and on the third stage, instead of creating an orb for only the third stage, it's going to create an elemental orb for the third stage, second stage, and the first stage. So what does this mean? This means that you'll be making orbs about 3 times as faster, and I love making orbs and breaking them in the main game, so yeah, I really like this part of Torna. But the one area which is going to really annoy a lot of people is that they force you to do side quests to progress in the story. Now, I understand that, hey, look, you know, they wanted to make the length of the game longer, but I mean, you know, they made it longer in the one of the most annoying way possible because, yeah, hey, now you have to do a bunch of side quests, and there's many people who probably did not do any side quests, they're just doing the main story quests because that's all they care about, and now they're gonna be forced to do like 20 side quests like back to back. Yeah, that's gonna get very, very tedious and very annoying. Now, me personally, it did not affect me that much because I'm someone who was just doing the side quests already on their own whenever they popped up, so, you know, it didn't affect me that badly. But I'm sure that, you know, there's other people, like I said, who never done side quests. For them, it's gonna be like hell. So, unfortunately, I hate to say, but I must give the gameplay a 6 out of 10. And it's mainly due to the forcing of side quests, and had they not done that, I would have certainly given the gameplay at least an 8 out of 10. I don't believe I said this before, so I'll say this now, but for my grading, a 6 or above is passing and a 5 or below is failing, and this applies to the categories. So let's move on to the art style category. Art style. Now, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this category, but what I will say is that the art style is pretty much the exact same as the main game, but I'd say it's a little bit better because to me the colors, they looked a little bit more vibrant, so I guess that's good. And on top of that, there's no custom blades, so all the blades which we do see, they're all consistent and they all, like, you know, they all fit, you know, together. So I'm going to be giving the art style category a 9 out of 10, and let's move on to the next category. Music. What can I say except the music is pretty fantastic, just like the main game was. The only difference being that I didn't have that many memorable songs in this as the main game, but that's probably due to this being way smaller and having way less songs. So yeah, that makes total sense. Now, my favorite song from Torna was actually what you're hearing right now, and I'll turn it up louder for a few seconds so you guys can, you know, hear it too. It's basically the Torna battle theme, and like it's just 10 times better than the battle theme in the main game. So if it was not obvious, this category is getting a 10 out of 10. Polish. If you remember my main game's review, I'd said that the main game, it could have looked a lot better, and that's why I gave it a 6 out of 10. And I have to say it, Torna, it does not have the same issues as the main game has at all. Torna, not only it looks better, it just feels better. The frame rates are better, the details are slightly higher resolution in the background and even in the foreground. The colors are definitely more vibrant and makes the game just look 10 times better in my eyes. And again, it's only limited by the Switch's hardware, which at that point, you can't complain to the devs. You can only complain that to Nintendo for making the Switch have hardware from 2014. So I'm giving the Polish category an 8 out of 10. Alright, so in the end, this game gets about a 7.8 out of 10, and the game costs about $40 to buy. So, would I recommend this game to you guys? The answer is yes, I do recommend this game. However, there is one asterisk attached to it. And what that asterisk is that basically I would recommend this game only if you're gonna play the main game as well. So if you're planning on just buying this game standalone for $40 and never touch the main game, then don't play this game, because trust me, you're not gonna get the full picture and it's not gonna be as, you know, fun as if you played this game and the main game together. Also, one tip I'll give is that if you're gonna buy both of them, don't buy them like separately. Buy the main game and get the expansion pack, as the expansion pack, not only it includes Torna, it also includes other stuff, and you save $10. So basically, you're paying $90 instead of paying $100 for the main game and the DLC. So there you had it. That was my review of Torna The Golden Country. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and also leave a like, because that helps me out. And yeah, that's all I have to say in this video, so I'll catch you in the next one.